Hi, I've got a great story for you today that was first told by Jesus. You see, Jesus sometimes described himself in ways that the people at the time would understand so that they would have a better understanding why he came to earth and just what he'd come to do. See, at one time, Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." At another point, he told a story about a good shepherd so that they would understand just what a good shepherd would do and just what Jesus was going to do for them. Now, the shepherd in this story was really pleased because his sheep always went, well, which way is this arrow pointing for you? To the right, isn't it? His sheep always went the right way. They always did the right thing. When he called them in at night, they went right into the sheep pen. It was a good way for the sheep to be. But you see, there was one sheep that knew that they should go the right way, but actually was wondering, well, would I have more fun if I headed off, well, the wrong way? Instead of going the right way with the rest of the sheep, would it be more fun if I headed off and had a bit of an adventure or something like that? Now, we know, don't we, that it's important for us to go the right way, to do the right thing, to follow the rules. Especially at the moment where there are lots of rules in place to help us to keep everybody safe, including ourselves. And we should do what's right to follow those rules. But actually, sometimes we might think like that sheep did. Would we have more fun if we didn't follow the rules, if we didn't do the right thing, if we went off and did our own thing? And I want to tell you that whenever we do things that are wrong, it always ends up going badly and we always end up in a bit of a mess. And that's just what happened to the sheep in Jesus' story. You see, he knew that he should have gone the right way like all the rest of them, but he thought, well, perhaps I'll have more fun. And so he headed off the wrong way whilst the rest of them were going into the sheep pen. And he was wandering along, probably looking around, thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be incredible. He didn't notice when suddenly he fell down into a pit. And the problem was this pit was big and steep. And so no matter what he did, he couldn't get himself out of the pit by himself. He was stuck, separated from the shepherd and the rest of the sheep, and there was nothing he could do to sort it out by himself. And that reminds me a bit about what the Bible says about us. You see, the Bible says that we were made to be right. We were made in the image of God to do the right thing and to follow him and to be like him, but that actually there's something within each and every one of us that causes us, instead of to follow God and go the right way, that actually we think, well, actually, maybe things would be better if I did my own thing, if I went my own way. And actually the Bible says that we don't necessarily get stuck down in a pit like the sheep did in Jesus' story, but actually we end up being cut off from God, the one who made us and created us, the Bible says, the one who loves us, and actually we end up cut off, separated from him, and not able to be part of his family forevermore. But you see, this story wasn't about the sheep. This was about the good shepherd and what the good shepherd was willing to do. So let's get right the way back up to the sheep pen, where the good shepherd was counting in his sheep for the night, pleased that they always went the right way and did the right thing. But as the shepherd was starting to count his sheep in, he started to realize that, well, one of his sheep were missing. He realized that where 99 sheep had gone the right way, one sheep had gone off the wrong way and got itself lost. So what was the good shepherd going to do? Was he going to think, well, I've still got 99 sheep, that's still a lot of sheep, and just leave the one lost? Or was he going to leave the 99 sheep and go off looking for the one that was lost, the one that needed his help? And that's just what the good shepherd did. Because the good shepherd cares for all of his sheep. And actually that's what Jesus was saying that he'd come to do. You see, Jesus was saying that, he was up in heaven, and actually he could have stayed there, but actually he knew that we were lost, that we'd gone off and done things that were wrong, that actually, well, separated us from him. And so he came down out of heaven, down to earth, and lived a perfect life, and then died on a cross for us, so that we could be found and could become part of his family if we put our trust in him. And that's just what the shepherd in the story did. You see, the shepherd headed off to find where the sheep had gone to, and he found him stuck down in the pit. And he didn't tell the sheep off, he didn't do something like that, but the shepherd climbed down into the pit because he knew that the sheep couldn't get out by himself, and the shepherd actually lifted him up out of the pit and took him right the way back to the sheep pen. And when he got back to the sheep pen, the Bible says in Jesus' story that the shepherd threw a great big party because his sheep that was lost had now been found. And actually the Bible is saying that that's exactly what happens up in heaven. When somebody turns and says they're sorry to Jesus and puts their trust in him, he throws a great big party, which I think will be the most amazing and incredible party ever. And so that's just a little bit about Jesus' story, about the Good Shepherd and how he went to find the sheep that was lost. But actually, a really important thing in there is that, you see, sometimes we might end up, well, stuck in a bit of a situation where we wish we hadn't got into. And we know we're probably going to get into trouble for what we've done. But even if we feel we're going to get into trouble, we should always, always call out for help, because there are always people around who can help us get out of the mess we've got ourselves in and get us back on the right track once again. And you know, the Bible says, as well as people around us like our teachers, our mums and dads, our friends who can help us out, God up in heaven always wants to help us as well. So always remember that you can call out and ask for help from him as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story that Jesus first told, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.